Hey guys, I'm Colwen. This machine we're in front of right now is what's called a tool grinder, and what it does is it spins this tool grinding wheel obscenely fast. And normally there is water in the basin here. We don't have that working right now, and recently I used that to take these two pieces of I want to say it's cold steel tool stock. Now first let me express something real quick, okay? I am learning machining right now, okay? I admit, I am a rank amateur with this stuff. So if I say something wrong or something uneducated, amateur. Also autistic, so I forget things and confuse things a lot. But just because I confuse the words doesn't mean I can't do the task. Again, autistic. So, moving on. And for those of you guys wondering, why do you say that? You know who you are, asshole. Fuck you. So, this basin right here will move back and forth, and it'll slowly grind it down. Now, how does it hold the parts in place? This base here is magnetic. Like, I'm having a little bit of difficulty pulling it off, but then you take this bar and you lock it down. Yeah, I am on one foot pushing that shit around. So we're done talking about this. I've already done the work on this. What I want to show you is me doing work on the mill. So Sid, let's go over there. Alright guys, please don't mind the heater in the corner. So after I got done with the surface grinder, and that was just to barely get them kind of matched up, I put them over here on the mill, and where is it? I used this end mill right here to go back and forth on the different sides to really get it nice and smoothed out. Now what I need to do is I need to change the tooling around. I had these 1, 2, 3 blocks on here originally, but now instead of working on the bars at the same time, I'm going to put these much smaller parallel bars, and I made parallel bars actually. These are different sizes, but these are also parallel bars. Give me a moment while I tighten this up. Okay, so I've got the part in there, and you may not be able to tell, but I actually decided to switch out from these very wide parallel bars to parallel bars, or at least half the width. Now, okay, that one's actually snug in there. Now, when you put it in there, you don't want to completely tighten down the thing. You want to get it on there and then bonk it with the hammer a couple times to make sure it's down in there nice and tight on the parallel bars. And the reason why I switched between these wider ones and the thinner ones, because with the wider ones, it was pushed up above here and it wasn't as strongly gripped. If you don't have it nice and strongly gripped, when you go to work on it, there is a chance that the part come flying out and smack you in the face. Or if you're, there's actually something that happened to me the other day when I was cleaning off the very ends right here. I was using this end mill. Now, when you use end mills, there's 2 different types of cuts. There's a cut where you go against the spin of the end mill, or where you go with the spin of the end mill. If you go against the spin, it'll jump the part around. If you go with the spin, it's a nice smooth cut. And what I did is when I first started, I was going against the spin, and it was jumping around on me for a moment, and you don't want that, because the part will come out and smack you in the damn face. This tool, are you on the camera? Okay, was originally up in here, but now I'm going to swap it out for this simple drill bit that is already in its own tool holder. I'm going to push that up in there. Hold on, come here, Sid. Up here, you see that hex bolt up there? That is what I'm going to use to tighten down this thing. Let me get it tight enough that I don't need to hold it. Uh-oh. Am I doing something wrong here? I think I'm doing something wrong here. Let me get back to you guys. Okay, so I decided that I can't use this tool holder, and I switched to a drill chuck proper. Now up here, I will do this, but I also have to hold this down also. Now up here on the front, I've got these three control wheels here. This is the X-axis, this is the Y-axis, and this is the Z-axis up and down. And I need to crank this thing all the way down. See, as magical as machining can be, okay, I was able to take cold steel and turn it into this, okay? There is a lot of math involved, and there's a lot of wheel turning and spinning and let me get back to you guys. So, got my table lowered. I can use my Y-axis to bring, did I go too far? Oh, I'm really stressing the end of this thing, aren't I? Oh, no, that's what happened. Hold on. I don't know if you can see here, but I got my handles stuck together here. Turn that up there, pull this, drop that down there. Now I can bring my X-axis all the way further past than I need to be. Then I'll use my Y-axis. Oh, hold on. There we go. Alright, I need to do some measurements and some maths. I'll be right back. Okay, so my bar is 1.50 wide. So divide that by 2 is going to give me 0.75. On my X up here, you can't see it, but I've got digitals up over here on the side. There we go. Is zeroed out. I've touched my drill bit against the side of my part, but now that I've lifted it up, I actually got to come over 0.5. Oh, that's the Y-axis. Okay, no. Yeah, that is the Y-axis. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Let me get this set up. Okay, so I brought the drill bit over, and I'm at 0.25 thousandths right now. And the very tip of the drill bit is lined up with the very edge. So I'm going to call that close enough. Okay? Then, I've got plenty of clearance between the drill bit and the part itself. I'm going to keep coming forward until I am at Come on. Am I too far? No, nothing is blocked. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so on my digitals, I'm at 0.75, and my drill bit is straight down the middle. I am out of oil right now, so give me a moment. Got my oil here. Now, why do I need oil? Well, because we need to lubricate our drill bit. Now, I am just barely on the inner edge right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move it in a bit further. Now, I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing with these in the end, but what I understand is down here at the base, I don't want to mess with. That's why I have the black marker on there. I'm going to be drilling a series of holes along here and then coming back in with an end mill to clear that all out so that in the end, it's a wrench that dropped, it's fine. There'll be a big old slot through here, and then we're going to round off the bottom here. It's going to be kind of part of a handle piston system. It's going to be interesting. Give me a moment. Okay, so I just spun it up a little bit to make sure it's working fine. I got oil on there. Now, I'm just going to show me doing one drill all the way through, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump cut till they're all being done, because me doing all of this is going to be easily half an hour to an hour of me just drill, move. So let's high speed, and go ahead and can you see under my arm? Let's make here where I need to be, Sid. Okay, so that cut smoother than I was expecting, but that still took about as long as I thought it would. And I need to do more all along here. So what I'm going to do is I have my x-axis zeroed out right now, and I'm going to move it over 5 thousandths. Does that sound good? No, I'm going to move it over. Come on, go back the other way. Come on. Come on. Ah, there we go. 5 thousandths, and that means it'll be right down next to the other one. But I'm going to go ahead and stop recording right now, and we'll get back to this in a moment. Let me go ahead and cut through all this. Okay, so I mentioned oil earlier, and I don't think I brought it back up again. Back behind Sid right now, we have a big old 5-gallon bucket of used motor oil. Don't need anything fancy. You put a little bit in this plastic lid here, you brush it on to there, and yes, that little bit does help a lot to get the drill bit to go through. And up here, I don't know if you saw me using this earlier, but this is a brake to hold the spindle up and down, and then this right here never put your fingers in there. Alright, use a tool or something to brush away the chips. You see how long the chips can get? Now what's funny is that when you go to clean up all these big ass long chips, it's actually harder to clean them up because they'll fight with you. It's cool to watch. But really, you want to keep bumping up a little bit. So that you keep the chips relatively small. Now the brake's going to come back into play in a second. So I'm going to take this like that to hold the spindle down. Then I'm going to pull this handle out, spin it back up again, and there's notches behind up inside here. Now this machine I'm using right here is easily a 50, 60-year-old machine, so it doesn't have a lot of the newfangled stuff. Okay, so most of the time going through this, I left the motor running, and I got all these holes along here. But partway through, I realized my Y-axis has a drive motor on it, so I can just take it. And you can see on the digital up there, it's going up to 1,000, and then once it's close enough. Oh, going the wrong way right now, but I get it right lined up. Close enough, close enough. And then I can go ahead and do my thing. So drive motors are very useful. And then, once you're done with the project, or rather, once you're done with the step, you can just move it all the way back over to where you need it. Now, what I need to do is unscrew the top bolt, get this tool, actually I need to move it completely out of the way. There we go. And then put the end meal in. So Okay, so I put the end mill in there. But then what I had to do is I had to raise the entire table up high enough so that I would know the end mill can go through the parts. There we go. So now when I get ready to do this, put that there. Bring the x-axis over. Come on. Now you may not be able to see it, but the end mill I'm using is easily twice the size of the drill bit. So I'm going to line up the very edge of the end mill with the edge of my first drilled hole. There we go. Okay. Got that all in place. Let's put extra oil on my end mill, and I'm going to put some in each of these holes down here. Because I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is going to be kind of interesting. So let's turn this thing on. Alright, hold on a second, I need to fix this. Okay, so I've got the tool all the way through. You can feel it down the bottom here, alright. Next, I'm going to use my power drive, but I'm going to put it in lower gear so it's slower. I'm going to turn this back on again, and hopefully it does what I want it to do. I'm going to stop recording right now. Okay, so first off, this is why you don't stick your fingers in the machine. As I was doing this cut, are you running, Sid? Okay, yeah, you're running. Okay. As I was doing this cut, a bunch of material was building up inside of it, so I was using this acid brush to kind of poke the stuff out, and then it got snagged and ripped, and then snagged and ripped, and this one got shredded, and then I got a new one, and that one got... I had to use this brass bar underneath to push the shit out. But here is my part. It is not quite finished. I need to go in and clean this edge out here. Actually, I need to go back and clean both edges out. But that's basically what I'm making here, and then this end's going to get done up Let me show you a trick that Dad showed me on how to clean up this mess. Got these rags here. We can just do this and over to the trash can. So thank you guys for hanging out with me while I do this project. I still have to clean that one up and do this one. I'm gonna be honest, I think... All right, Newton, screw you too. I think I might have ruined this end mill because of all the smoke and heat. I'm gonna give it some time to cool down before I finish this up. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'm Colwen. I've been doing work on the mill. And again, I am rank amateur, but I'm having fun and learning. Bye-bye. One more thing! It was about 9:20 when I started working on that part. It is now 10:50. It took me almost 2 hours to do that. See, that's the problem with doing machinist work. You can work magic with it, but it takes a while because the material itself is hard as... Alright, bye.